Currently, I'm the principal at Junction City High School. This is my 5th year as the head principal. I came in 1992, so it's my 25th year here. Since I've been here, I have enjoyed the diversity of this town. I have enjoyed the military connection, the number of students that I get to interact with. I've enjoyed the professional development and the innovation of our school district. I believe Junction City High School has an urban feel, but in a very rural setting in the middle of Kansas. And it's very attractive to me to continue to work here.
There's a real research process that took place back in the late 1990s. I want to say we started about 98 or so. I was originally part of a committee that was looking at career-based strategies or structures. And then what happened at that time, Junction City High School applied for grant monies, and I believe the grant monies were through smaller learning communities, and Kansas University was one of the overseers for that, for those grant monies. We used the grant monies to actually look at research smaller learning communities and career academies, and so for approximately 2.5 years, we were really into a research mode. We sent staff all over the United States. Myself, I went down to Grand Prairie, Texas. We had individuals that went down, visited schools in Florida that were small and learning communities, academy structures. We sent them to Philadelphia, Arizona. I mean, we literally scattered the four winds per se, and we went about the country looking at different school systems that utilize smaller learning communities where the focus could be on careers and career opportunities.
So in 1998-99 school year, Mike Gross and I became the co-chairs of the school improvement team. At that point, there was no child left behind. There was North Central accreditation. And so for that, the school improvement team's job was to gather the evidence and do the things that we needed to do to earn accreditation, which was a 5-year process. And so at that point, we created committees, and we thought, one of the goals I had was to get teachers, everybody involved, and have a voice in decision making. So we decided that we would have committees, and every teacher would belong to a committee. And so all the teachers there had a greater voice in terms of decision making. And so then after the visits and that, and the feedback and talking about it and what would be our career structure and that, the decision was made that we wanted to do this only if our teachers were into it and wanted to do it. So a decision was made that, and this would have been then the 99 to 2000 school year, to to process it through. And then I believe it was 2001 in which we voted. The teachers voted, I don't remember exactly what, 60%, 65% voted for this, and so we went to the structure.
Well, our main mission here is to give kids, help them with the transition to high school, kind of let them know what high school is about, get them on their path to graduation. Career exploration is the main, when you look at the academy structure, that's our main focus, is career exploration, so that when they go to make a decision on an academy or a career cluster, they can make an educated decision that way.
So in the 9th grade, we have several programs that exist. One, they all take a class called Freshman Life Skills and Communications, and during that class, they're doing some career exploration. We have a brand new tool that we're rolling out this year called Career Cruising, and we're asking students to take some interest inventories and skills inventories through that program. That will help them narrow down kind of a top 20, top 40 potential careers that they may be interested in. But we also take into account personal goals, and so For example, you may end up with a top 5 of education and say technology, but you really want to be a nurse. And so we're going to look at nursing as well as a potential career for you and figure out why that may or may not be a good fit. So we utilize those inventories through career cruising to do that.
We're moving to a tool called career cruising. And so students then will take kind of an interest inventory to find out, you know, do you want to work inside, do you want to work outside, do you want to work with people, do you want to work with equipment? And so those are the questions that you have to be able to answer before you know what you want to do. And so a lot of people, and it doesn't matter if it's students or adults, will look at, you know, somebody that makes a lot of money and say, well, I want to do that. Well, really, let's figure out what you want to do that you enjoy doing and that you can make money at. So I think part of our job is to help you figure that out, or at least to narrow it down, or to know, here are some things that I just know that I'd never want to do. So if we can help you make some of those decisions now about what's going to look like and what shouldn't look like, then you can start to take courses that support that.
We're based on a smaller learning community, and so we've taken this gigantic building of 1,700 students and we've tried to break it down into 4 smaller learning communities. The first one of those is the 9th grade building, which is the Freshman Success Academy. And so all of the freshmen go through, are on a team there, and they go through some career exploration, and they kind of take a look at what they might want to do after high school. And that puts them into one of the 16 career clusters. And the career clusters are a nationwide organization of all the jobs that you can have. And we've broken those 16 career clusters down into 3 different career academies. The Science, Engineering, and Technology Academy, the Fine Arts and Human Services Academy, and the Business Information Technology Academy.
I would say one of the best things about academies, specifically broken down into pathways, would be some of the certifications and some of the authentic work experiences that students can have. And I'm going to talk about law and public safety because that's our newest one. For example, students right now are going on field trips that they're getting out in the community. They're job shadowing. Police officers are going along ride-alongs. We bring multiple agencies like the park rangers, like the police, the fire department, in to talk to the kids about what specifically they do. Same with judges, lawyers, as far as the law side. We have 2 students interning with the police station right now. They basically spend half a days and go out and shadow and be a police officer. And then ultimately we want to work up, and this isn't any pathway, to certifications or to some of those experiences that are going to directly impact them after high school.
I'm part of the tech ed department, and my with the emphasis on the construction, but I teach in the fall. I teach construction framing, which is when we begin the house, and then in the spring I do construction finishing. Just the fact that, I mean, we come out, somebody said, well, how do you teach your class? I said, well, first of all, we don't spend all that much time in the classroom. I said, I've always been of the opinion that you learn by doing, and so that's what we do. And give them as much experience in as many things as I possibly can. That's the key to the program. It's what they need once they get out of school. You know, if they decide to go on into construction or into, I've had a number of my kids that have went into architecture and stuff, and they told me it was such a great background because they said most of the kids in college that they've been around had no idea how things worked. And they said it was nice to be, because when you start getting into architecture, to at least understand somewhat how house construction works, or construction in general works.
And so a student chooses their career cluster. They don't choose their academy, they choose their cluster based on their potential career interests for the future. So if any student is interested in a career in one of those fields, they are going to choose that appropriate cluster, which would place them in the SET. So if they're interested in a more business-related government, they're going to go toward the BIT, and fine arts or human services, obviously, to that academy.
I do feel like the academy structure fulfills its purpose because it operates like a school within a school. So for students who plan to go on to post-secondary education, they will have to choose, like a college to attend and then a specific area of study within those colleges. So I think that this mimics what they will be doing in the future if they're not going into a career.
There's 16 career pathways from the Department of Labor. Currently, Junction City High School offers 11 of those approved pathways. So students within those particular pathways have the ability to receive work for skill sets and take an assessment test to say that they are qualified to work in those industries. Those are called industry-based certifications. Some of those examples include our students that build the house. They build a house and they're able to go right into the workforce with that certification. Our latest pathway is the law and public safety. Our ultimate goal there is that our students are able to leave high school with a 911 operator certification. So our goal through this whole process is to use school as a direct correlation to work. It's called school to work research. And so what we've tried to do is build a facility and create an educational curriculum that is relevant to what our students want to do with their lives. I could talk about this all day because I've lived it for 25 years. I wouldn't be here if I thought, at Junction City High School, if I thought there was something better. I've been all over the country at conferences. I go to graduate classes at K-State with people from other districts in the state of Kansas. I network online with a lot of educators across the country and across the world. I just got back from the National Career Academy Coalition Conference. What we're doing is the right thing. I know there is a big buzz in the community about using some impact aid money to improve our academy structure, to renovate the high school and or build a new high school. It is my belief that if we can make that happen and we can provide an intentional design for an academy structured high school of the future, we could have one of the best high schools in the state of Kansas. I believe our kids are some of the best kids in the state. We have some of the best professionals in the state. And if we had the facility to coincide with that, I think we could write our own ticket.